Folks, welcome back. Yonder the Ridge Outdoors. It's opening day archery season here in PA. I can't even describe how excited I've been for this. Why does that look so foggy? Anyhow, we just got up into the saddle here. We're not 30 yards from the road, but only saw one other truck coming in. That doesn't seem like it's too pressured of an area. We're back in where we scouted pre-season at the big communal scrape. I'm just gonna give you a look around here. You can probably see here we got this big old deer trail running down the hill in front of us. Just a hair off to the left. And down in there's that big communal scrape. A trail that runs right down below us, back towards the road. I kicked out a grouse on the way in, but other than that, I don't think we put in too much disturbance. I'm parked probably 150 yards down the road. I hiked in, climbed a tree, and here we are. So, I'm gonna get an arrow on the bow. We'll see if anything comes along. Stay tuned. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Looked like it hit him a little high. That was a big old coyote. Well, I'll give him some time and see what the hell just happened. Well, it's been about 20 minutes since I shot that coyote. I just went down, picked up my arrow, turned the knock off, stuck it down at the bottom of the tree below me. Didn't look like good blood on the veins, looked kind of like muscle blood. But I didn't see a whole lot of blood on the ground. And there wasn't a whole lot of blood on the veins either, so I think I might have hit him a little too high. Just kind of took out his back muscles. But that was about a 10-yard shot. Hey, shots fired opening day. We'll take that. Now we're just hoping for a deer to walk by. I'm looking for either good sized buck or a big old fat doe with no fawns. I'd like to get a doe before they breed. That way I know I'm not also killing a fawn with her. But we'll take whatever walks by. Might even wind up with another coyote. Maybe that blood will draw them in. Who knows? I'm gonna get my fresh arrow back on the bow and see what comes by. Alright folks, well, it's about 11:30. I've done up my clown makeup because that shot was an absolute joke. But yeah, I think that's about going to do it for the morning hunt. The wind completely switched directions on me. It's now blowing straight down that trail the coyote come down. So I'm not expecting a whole lot to come back from that way. So I think I'm going to hop out of the tree, take a little bit of time, see if I can find any serious signs of injury from that coyote, or if I can determine that it was just a muscle hit and he'll be fine. So I'm gonna get down and take a little walk around. Well, made it back to the spot where we first hit that coyote. This is what the fletchings look like. As you can see, not a whole lot of great sign there, but a good bit of hair. There's hair on the broadhead. So we'll throw that in the 3 spot on the quiver until I can get that sharpened. I'm gonna take a look around here, follow the path he ran, look for a dead coyote. Keep you posted. Well folks, we're on our way back to the truck now. We've hit the main walking path. But yeah, I looked around the spot for 20 minutes. I walked the trail a little ways in the direction that coyote headed. I didn't even find a drop of blood. The only sign of a hit I saw was the hair at the site of impact. So, and of course a little bit of blood on the fletchings. So in other words, I think we just gave that guy a haircut. Hell of a story and a scar to prove it. Of course that's never what you want to happen, but since it did happen, glad it happened on a coyote and not a deer. Well, anyway, I'm headed back to the house, get something to eat, try to figure out where I'm going tonight. See you then. Okay folks, well, we're back at it for the evening hunt. As you can see, I'm not in the saddle anymore. I figured for tonight we just sit up in Dad's stand, because right now the wind is perfect for it. We have dead calm air and the thermal's pulling right down the hill to my left. Checked a couple trail cameras on the way in. There were 3 deer down below at 8:30 a.m. up when I was shooting at that coyote. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Some days you just pick the wrong spot. But for tonight, we're gonna hang out in here. See what happens to walk by. Bring you up if anything cool happens. Well, as the lights fading out on opening day of archery season 2023, I realize realize I have nothing profound to say about it. We're here empty-handed. We didn't see any deer move through our property. We didn't see any deer on the game lands. Took a whack at a coyote. Scuffed that one pretty bad. It was a beautiful day. Just a real good day to be out in the woods. Can't hunt on Sundays in PA, so I'll be back out on Monday. Trying to put a plan together, head to a different game land. Maybe I'll take the week and break down the other section that we didn't get to scout preseason. Not entirely sure yet, but stick around, stay tuned. That's coming at you next. Let's go. Alrighty, folks. It is officially day 2 of Pennsylvania archery season. It's Monday afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock. Heading into the spot. This is the spot we've been squirrel hunting, where I found that giant scrape. We got pretty close to the ideal wind for it right now. So I think I might just bail in there. Set up somewhere. The wind is swirling a little bit. When I got out of the truck, it was hitting me in the face. Now it's hitting me in the side. I'm worried it's just going to keep working around. But I guess my idea is to set up in the woods. Acorn about hit me in the head. Set up in the woods on the backside. Blow my scent out into this apple orchard. You can see here. Still a whole pile of apples on those trees. So I'm looking to set up and ambush them on their way in. I don't know if it would be better to set up on the edge of it, kind of on this back side. Maybe catch them as they come out. Blow my scent a little more towards this side of the orchard. I don't know. So I'm going to sit here for a minute. I know as soon as I get into a tree, the wind's going to switch again. It's Pennsylvania. But right now it seems to be blowing left to right across this orchard. So I might set up on the far side, try to catch them on their way in. Or just set up right here in this corner. I'll have to see where I find a good tree. We got the saddle on again today, so I'm ready to climb a tree once I find a good one. So I'm gonna find that tree, set up, and I'll bring you guys back when I do. Catch you then. Alright folks, well, we are in the stand and set up. It's about 4:30. Let me give you a little peek around at what we're looking at. Now off to my right here we have the orchard. A couple apple trees down along in here behind this brush. Over here is a strip of milkweed going that way. We got a pretty heavy access trail right in here. Another one back in behind me over there. Probably see it right in here. That one's at about 20 yards out. Maybe 15. I'll range it in a second. I was squirrel hunting off in this direction during the eat and eat in our early season scouting. And from here, we just have all open timber. And if you can hear over the katydids, there's acorns dropping everywhere back here. So far, the wind has been pretty consistently in my face or diagonal back to my left. So it should be blowing back towards the road where the truck's at. Hopefully it doesn't switch. It's already done a complete 180 from when I parked the truck. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, I don't have a whole ton to say. I'm just gonna leave my coat open and let it cool off a little bit. Throw my face mask on. Get to watching. So I'm gonna throw an arrow on the bow. Get ready. Kick you on if anything interesting comes along. Well, folks, I present to you a tragedy in 2 parts. Get it? 2 parts? Yeah, so I wound up being stuck in the tree until well after dark, until those does fed out of the orchard and out into the woods. Because of that, I wound up having to get out of the tree in the dark. And it wound up that as I was rappelling out of the tree, I landed on my bow, because I couldn't see it there. And the sight ring slid out of the little clamp there. So the good news is I think I can just slide it back in the correct way and basically just have to re-zero it. So that's the good news. The bad news is that I get to lose at least today as far as hunting goes, and possibly the rest of the week depending on if time allows. So if I can't get it done today, this might wind up being the end of the video for the week. So just in case this is the end of the video for the week, we'll do a quick recap here. Started off the week on Saturday, opening day. We wound up seeing a coyote for the morning hunt. Got a shot at it, choked it terribly. But the good news about that especially is that I was able to go through and rewatch the footage and capture this still image. So as you can see, that knock is located just at the very top of his back. So very likely it didn't even wind up wounding the coyote. They get worse injuries when they fight each other. So I'm not terribly worried about this guy's well-being. He probably has a pretty good gash. That's not any worse than what they get when they fight each other. So he got a haircut, he got a little cut, he'll be fine. He isn't even wounded. So now I get to take the opportunity to not only re-sight my bow, but also clear my head, move on from that, and focus on putting a better shot downrange next time. So that evening, didn't see anything up on our property, but the trail camera showed us they were there in the morning. Last night I was able to get out, missed the morning hunt, wasn't too terribly worried about it. Early season, you don't really need to focus on the early morning hunts as much, because chances are those deer are already back in their beds and you don't want to blow them out and completely ruin your morning hunt. So in the evening, I hunted the food source, wound up coming across a couple does. Good to see, regardless of whether you get a shot or not. I wasn't terribly interested in taking that doe anyway because she had a fawn with her. Maybe later in the season I would take a doe with a fawn, but for right now,
I'm just kind of looking for a big doe that doesn't have any fawns. Or, you know, if a buck decides to wander by, won't turn it down either. But at least it felt good to finally get on some deer. And then this happened. So, if I can't get this back to the point where I feel good enough to hunt with it today or tomorrow, it's probably going to wind up being the end of the footage for the week. Yeah, I guess I'll just get to work on this and see what I can do with it. Just in case this is the end of the video, make sure you leave a like on the video. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, especially if you're new. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more hunts in the future. I'll see you in the next one.
Okay. Well, it only took a couple rounds to get that result from 20 yards. So, because it only took a couple rounds, I'm going to keep on shooting. I need to repeat this group several times before I'm happy. But, yeah, that orange dot is not very large. And I'm shooting from back by that ladder. So, I'm going to keep repeating this, and about till my arm falls off. And I think we might actually be back in action for hunting this week. So stay tuned.